This is a Journal of Management and Organization special issue focused on wicked problems and sustainable development goals. The special issue is convened by Dr. Stephanie Macht, Professor Ross Chapman, and Professor Annika Fitzgerald. Since JMO is the journal of the Australian and New Zealand Academy of Management, or ANZAM for short, this special issue here is particularly special because it derived from the 2019 ANZAM conference. The 2019 conference was hosted by CQ University in Cairns, and the theme was Wicked Solutions to Wicked Problems, the challenges facing management research and practice. The papers in this special issue have been derived from selected papers from the conference, as well as an additional subsequent call for papers. In the editorial to this special issue, we specifically focus on management research and the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs for short. This podcast briefly introduces the SDGs and the relevance of management research for achieving these SDGs. The podcast also gives an overview of the papers in the special issue and then ends on a discussion of the worldwide progress towards achieving the SDGs, particularly also given the COVID-19 pandemic, because that happened between the special issue papers being developed and now when they're being published. We end the podcast with an overview of how we, as management scholars, can consider the SDGs as an opportunity for our research in the post-COVID recovery world. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for 2030 are a collection of 17 broad goals which address the big, complex global challenges our world faces. This includes things like poverty, inequality, environmental issues, including climate change, peace, and justice. The 17 high-level goals have altogether 169 more specific targets attached to them. They were agreed in 2015 with the intention of being achieved by 2030. According to the United Nations, the SDGs are a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. As such, they are to be considered a call for action on all levels: global, national, local, and individual. This obviously means it is also a call to action for all types of organizations, including universities and SMEs, large organizations. It also includes a call to action for individuals, including us as management researchers. In fact, management research plays a really big role in understanding and achieving the SDGs. But we are not currently putting the SDGs at the front or even in the center of our research work. This is largely due to the fact that management research is often removed from the practical realities of the world, especially from these big, complex real-world problems. This disconnect between research and reality is further aggravated by current use of academic measures of research quality and impact, such as citation metrics. However, there is a growing movement toward more reality and sustainability-focused management research. You might say it is a growing movement towards putting the SDGs at the top of our priority list. This change is being driven by a variety of diverse actors, including accreditation bodies like AACSB and AMBA, which include research impact in their accreditation standards. It includes government funding for research, for example, the UK Research Excellence Framework and New Zealand's Performance-Based Research Fund, which include measures of societal impact as part of the research quality measurement. Other bodies also support this movement, and examples are management development associations like CMAN, the International Association for Management Development in Dynamic Societies, the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, the Responsible Research for Business and Management, RRBM network. This also means that some researchers, some universities, and some journals have joined this movement towards sustainability-focused management research. Obviously, JMO is one such journal, and this special issue in particular is a great attempt at moving the SDGs from the bottom to the center and eventually to the top of our management research focus. So to put the SDGs into the center of our attention as management scholars, this special issue showcases 7 very diverse papers, which shows just how pervasive the SDGs can be in management research and how much management research can support the achievement of the SDGs. More specifically, the special issue contains research on SDGs in the context of various organization types, and it uses a variety of lenses to explore different aspects of SDGs. Obviously, the full papers are in the special issue, so here's just a tiny little sneak peek to show the diversity of papers. Shepard and Young's paper focuses on addressing SDGs for confronting climate change. They provide insights and summary solutions in the stress-stupidity system. Kumar, Banerjee, Duarte, and Dadich look at the impact of government actions and carbon legislation on business responses to climate change in Australia. Dalton focuses on the challenge of engaging with and reporting against the SDGs for SMEs by looking at the Sydney Theatre Company as a case study. Ranabahu explores the responsible innovations in social enterprises. Mulink and Macht present a case study of managing out corruption from a Bangladeshi non-government organization. Chapman, Cully, Koziol, Macht, Chapman, Fitzgerald, and Gertsen consider the use of SDGs and targets in academia to address the wicked problem of measuring real-world research impact. Wolgezogen, McCabe, Ozegovich, and Moll tracked management scholarship's contribution to addressing the wicked problem of climate change and interdisciplinary research. This clearly shows how much scope there is in management research to address some or all of the SDGs, but it requires us to put them into the center of our work and eventually maybe progress to putting them at the top of our priority list. So this special issue was developed during the year 2020. Not only is this 5 years after the SDGs were set, but it was also a year of huge challenges globally. Therefore, at the end of the special issue, we have decided to include a postscript to show the current end of 2020 progress towards the SDGs. According to the Social Progress Index, some SDGs have made good progress, but others have stagnated or even reversed. While many goals are achievable by 2030, not all of them are. One of these reasons, but not the only reason, is COVID-19, which struck the world during 2020. The SDGs are actually important for recovering from this crisis, and it is also very important to note that businesses and universities have a key role to play in the response to the crisis and the ongoing journey towards sustainability in a post-COVID world. As such, both SDGs and the COVID-19 crisis should be considered an opportunity for management research, because we, as management scholars, have a great opportunity now to provide evidence-based policy advice, support innovation and employment creation, change the business mindset towards sustainability. We can educate the future business leaders. We can carry out cross-disciplinary research in order to minimize the theory-practice gap. These are only some of the ways in which management research, such as the research showcased in this special issue here, can actually consider the SDGs and even the crisis as an opportunity. So we would like to end this podcast on a call to action for all management researchers. Place the SDGs at the top of your agenda. Consider the big issues in the world as framed by the SDGs in your endeavor to make an impact with your research that goes beyond academia. It can support the future of business and management and society more widely.